Welcome to the Java Fullstack Roadmap 2026. What to learn and in which order. If you are in engineering third year or BCA second year and you have typed Java Fullstack Roadmap into Google or YouTube, you have probably found 10 different results telling you 10 different roadmaps. Today I am cutting through that noise. One roadmap, one order, and I will tell you exactly why each step comes before the next. So you are job ready when placements hit. Before you start this roadmap, let's check if you have done core Java basics, object oriented programming, loops, collections in first or second year. If you know basic data structures and algorithms like arrays, strings, basic recursion techniques, basic problem solving techniques, etc. You may have written HTML, CSS code once or twice for your college project. If you are here, you are in the right spot. This video outlines a single logical engineering roadmap specifically designed to make you employable by placement season. Here is the big picture of all the stages of 16 weeks of this particular roadmap. Stage 1, weeks 1 to 3, core Java checklist. Before touching a single framework, tighten up your core Java skills. This is non negotiable. Every Spring Boot concept you will learn later is just best practices of Java plus extra details. Focus on object oriented principles, not just definitions. Learn to be able to explain them within a scenario in an interview. Not just the four pillars of object oriented programming, but also foundations like fields, methods, constructors, static, getters and setters, overloading and overriding, etc. Focus on collections framework, specifically list, set, map, not just the definitions. Learn when to use which. Exception handling. Checked versus unchecked is a famous exam question, but when to avoid an exception or when to handle an exception. Focus on that. Focus on learning Java 8 plus features. Very important question for interviews, especially for freshers. Focus on understanding the concepts of streams, lambdas, and optional, where they are used and how they are different or better from the previous version of Java. You should have basic awareness of multi-threading. You need not master this yet. You just need to understand why it exists and which existing library of Java already utilizes these concepts of multi-threading. Why this order? Because Spring Boot's dependency injection, inversion of control, REST API controllers, JPA repositories all lean on these concepts. If you skip this, Spring Boot will feel like magic instead of logic. Next, the front end layer. Some roadmaps put this after backend, but I disagree. Building a simple user interface keeps you motivated and gives you something visual to show for your effort. Once again, order matters. Focus on HTML, CSS. You first learn the structure and styling, including flexbox or grid. Then you learn the DOM manipulation, which is the foundation of majority of the front end frameworks. Then ES6 plus features, fetch or async await features, which are very common interview questions for beginners. Then a front end framework. React is a safer bet right now for job postings. Angular still shows up heavily in enterprise or Java related job listings. Pick one and go deep rather than dabbling with both of them. Your goal in this stage, build one small static page, then one small React app with a couple of components and state. Don't chase perfection. This is about fluency, not mastery. Week 7 to week 10 is stage 3, backend. This is the heart of Java full stack. Here is the internal order. Spring core concepts, inversion of control, dependency injection, beans, just enough to understand why Spring works the way it does. Spring Boot, auto configuration, starters, application.properties, annotations, just enough foundations for you to get started. Then build REST APIs, controllers, services, repositories, the standard three-layer architecture. Then Spring Data JPA plus Hibernate. This is where you connect your API to a database without writing raw SQL queries for everything. Then you do a little bit of Spring security, just enough to protect an endpoint with the authentication. Don't try to learn microservices or Spring Cloud yet. That's a later career topic. Your goal in this stage is get one clean REST API working end to end first. Stage 4, databases, week 9 to week 11, which runs parallel to stage 3 backend. Why? Because backend is incomplete without a database. So databases should overlap with your Spring Boot learning, not come after or before. I agree that MongoDB is in demand and a lot of people are interested in exploring MongoDB, but start with SQL, either MySQL or PostgreSQL. Practice joins, indexing, writing manual queries by hand even before letting Hibernate write them for you. Then get basic exposure of NoSQL. You can choose MongoDB or any similar NoSQL database. Goal for MongoDB is enough to know when NoSQL document makes more sense than a relational table. Recruiters care more about SQL frequency from freshers than NoSQL. So balance your time. More effort on SQL, a little bit of exposure of NoSQL is good enough. The tools that make you look like an actual engineer, not just a student. Git and GitHub. You should already have this by now. Postman is a tool you use for testing your APIs before even wiring your APIs with frontend. Docker basics. Containerizing your Spring Boot application. Even a small Docker file is fine, but you should know how it is done. One cloud deployment. Render, Railway, or AWS free tier. Get one project actually live with a URL you can put on your resume. You don't need Kubernetes or CI/CD pipelines yet. One deployed project with a live URL beats 5 local projects nobody can see. Stage 6, capstone, which is once again starting in parallel by the end of the time you have already learned a little bit of deployment tools. Everything comes together in one full stack project, something like a student management system, or an expense tracker, or a mini e-commerce, anything that demonstrates all the knowledge that you have gained so far. React frontend talking to a Spring Boot REST API, MySQL for data persistence, basic login with Spring security, all of this deployed on a live URL, which is saved on your GitHub README. This single project does more for your resume than every certificate combined. It's a proof that you can connect all the layers, not just learn them in isolation. One thing that should run in parallel the whole time, not after you have learned everything. And that is DSA practice, practicing core Java interview questions, updating resume, and preparing with mock interviews. Companies hiring Java full stack freshers still test on data structures and algorithm rounds first. Don't leave this until the whole content of Java full stack is done. 30 minutes a day from week 8
keeps you from cramming at the end of the roadmap.
So, to recap the order:
Core Java, front end, Spring Boot backend, databases in parallel,
tools and deployment in parallel, capstone project with DSA and interview prep running underneath the whole time. That's roughly 3 to 4 months if you are consistent.
which lines up well if you start this in the first half of third year before placement season.
Season heats up.
You now understand the complete 2026 architecture for Java full stack. You're not just learning
Isolated syntax. You are learning how to build and wire
a complete professional system.
Save this checklist and
Follow the exact order. See you later.